Hi there, thanks for joining me today for another training session. This is A to B training. Today we're going to be looking at wheelchair tie downs and how we fit them to the tracks and then obviously then fit them to the wheelchair. It is wheelchair tie downs or 4-point webbing. It's been known over the years because guess what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and when it's connected correctly, it looks like webbing. So let's start with the front, as you always should. So the fronts, there's two front tie downs, as you can see here. Most of the time, they tend to have like a seat belt, small seat belt with a lock on the front like so, which we can undo. So when we actually come to secure them to the tracking, if you remember, think in your mind, it will be heel goes in first, then toe. Let me show you. Heel goes in first, toe, slide it back, and it just locks into position like so. So to release, you just the yellow button here, we just lift, slide forward, and out it comes. So remember, heel goes in first, toe locks it into position. I'll show you that closer in a second on a side view. But something important that you must remember when we do this is when we put the one opposite, it must go in the same line like this. So you see this now is not in a straight line. So the issue now would be, should we secure the wheelchair down and then with like heavy braking or God forbid an accident, the wheelchair framework will be severely buckled or it would just fail and collapse. So we must make sure that they are in a straight line. So this one's quite easy to see. We just have 2 holes from the front and a nice straight line on the back. I'll show you this side on. Now you're viewing this side on here, you can see what I meant earlier about you need to make sure that the fronts of these are in a straight line in here. And then this one's quite easy to do. As I said, there was 2 holes just in front, so we know this is a straight line they're in. So again, just to remove these and put them back in, we'll just lift the yellow button, slide forward, and it lifts out. And very simple to put it back in. Heel goes in first, toe, slide it back, and it locks into position. So both just the same. Now we're going to actually secure the front wheelchair tie downs to the front of the wheelchair. So obviously we have the wheelchair user in the chair. We bring them forward to where you think they should be positioned to start with. We put the brakes on the wheelchair, and now we come to the front to actually connect the front wheelchair tie downs. 2 places we never ever connect the wheelchair tie downs to. One is to the front foot stirrups. We never connect to these, or the wheels or the framework here. What we do need to connect to is the actual framework of the wheelchair itself, usually in the corners, as I'll show you a side view in a second. So all we do is very simple, bring the wheelchair tie down around the corner of the wheelchair and just let it click and connect in. And we do it and we make sure that the buttons are facing outward and the actual strap is taut and nice and straight. And I do the same to the other side. Around the inside to the out and connect, making sure the buttons are facing out. And then what we do, we go behind the wheelchair user again, just release the brakes, bring it back so it's nice and taut, the front wheelchair tie downs, and then we're going to go and do the back. Now we've got the side on view of how to fix the front wheelchair tie downs. This is the corners, as I was saying, we're going to connect to on the framework of the wheelchair here, not the foot stirrups at all, and definitely not the wheels. So what we do is just bring the wheelchair tie down on the inside and bring it round to the outside and very simply just connect like so. And we do the same to the other side. Making sure that when we're doing this, we're of course keeping the straps straight and we're not twisting them. And now again, we just release the brakes, bring the wheelchair back so it's taut, the straps, and now we're going to connect the back. Now we're going to attach the back wheelchair tie downs in the correct manner. So here we are. Again, just like the front, remember the heel goes in first, then the toe, and then we slide it backwards. And it's just as important as the front that when we do put the other side on, we make sure they're in a straight line. As you can see, I put a line on here. Two reasons. One is to make sure I get both back tie downs in a straight line, but more importantly than that, it's when we do come to put the wheelchair seat belt on, we need to position the wheelchair tie downs a good 10 to 12 inches back from the back of the wheelchair. It just enables the seat belt to be correctly positioned when on the wheelchair user. So here we go. So now on this one, on this side, again, it's very much similar to the front, has like a small short seat belt that comes around into a clip harness. So what this does is we just bring this around the corner, the world of the wheelchair at the back, and we connect it through. Nice. And then this system actually runs the ratchet system. These are like very small ratchets that you get on the back of articulated lorries, but they're the bigger ratchets that go over to secure the load. So all we do is here, we just put your thumbs forward like this, push so, and then it opens up and allows us to take tension off, or now we can apply tension. But what we initially do here, we apply quite a bit of tension, then we just use thumb and finger just to hold it like this, takes a bit of the tension off, because if we didn't, we probably wouldn't be able to close this, or if we did close it, we'd never be able to release it. So here we go. As I pull this down, you will see the wheelchair be pulled backwards and down into the ground, like so. Here it click, and then for belt and braces, we just Velcro to Velcro, nice, neat and tidy. We're going to do the same to the other side now before we use the seat belt. So again, like the other side, it will be heel goes in first, then toe. And again, you can see that's in a nice straight